Yo, what up, YouTube? What up, what up, what up? And this photograph that I use for Chicken Guillotine of former President Donald Trump is, a photograph that I want you to take a look at the background behind former President Donald Trump, and I want you to look at how the background looks like it's almost like a clothing ad or what have you. That has been graphically added to the shot. Okay, that has been graphically added to the shot. That's not the original background, I believe, with that photograph. And I don't believe that green situation was there, canister, and I don't believe that the individual shoulder that you see on the right hand side, I don't believe that that is part of the original photograph. In other words, I believe that Donald Trump's image here was composited in with this background with some elements. And this is an image that I believe was created by the deep state, because your life, everything about you pertain to your seasonings, your type of character, so on and so forth. I may say things that sound strange, but you probably have lived another life as yourself before. Okay? And it's kind of like multi-pass rendering, if you're familiar with that, or a sword. How you take that sword, and when it's being welded or not welded, I don't know about these things, blacksmithed or whatever, that it's struck several times on either side of that blade, and it's folded several times. And so if you keep taking these lives and compressing these lives lifetime after lifetime, in which we come into this world with amnesia, right? Then eventually, your character as an individual starts to build within a self-contained grading basis of who you formerly were and who you will be, right? Is the perpetual weighing scales of judgment of how a man is going to continue if they pertain to if you happen to remember any of your former lives, okay? Your former lifetimes. I believe we have one life, but several lifetimes. And in the getting back to this thing, anyways, during one of these times that I lived, there is a situation, and it was very harmless, and there was no ill intent with it, where individuals had to take a photograph, or they didn't have to, but someone would come up and ask if they would take a photograph with their fist up, and the individual would ask, like, why? What do you need me to do this for? And they would just say, oh no, for no reason, like we just want to take this photograph, or just, they play it down like it's nothing, we just need this photograph or whatever. And for me, it was somebody that I knew, and like a friend, and anyways, they took this photograph of you. They take a photograph of you with your fist up, okay, and then they just have like a registry of several of these images. Several individuals have taken it. this photograph. So I want you to take a look at, to point out, the things I was pointing out in perception. The way Donald Trump is holding his fist. It's not in a particular sense of assertive affirmation in such a way that it explicitly details any sort of supremacy or hate. Okay? I want you to take a look at that as well. All right? And if you look at his eyes in that photograph, he is staring off. Okay? He definitely posed for that photograph the way he's staring off there. Okay? As in, he's looking aimlessly in a direction. Okay? He's staring off, as in posing for the photograph, which means, this photograph had to be taken while he was standing still, meaning he posed, for that image. All right. So somebody asked him to do that, to stand like that and to put his fist up like that. And if you look at his face doesn't express any sort of knowing. Okay. Any sort of knowing or any sort of intention or any type of vibe or malice, so on and so forth. And I want you to take a look at that gentleman in the background that's reaching into his pocket, and that's like an individual that is posing for like a GQ magazine or something like that, or maybe a suit magazine. It's like he's striking a pose, but it's meant to look as if he's some type of agent. I mean, the image of Donald Trump was taken separately than the background and the other elements in the photograph, and that was composited into that picture. All right. And I just want to be clear with things as I see it and things as I recall, because some things were not from this lifetime. All right. These are like hazy details from when I remember living a long time ago. Okay. So yeah, I think the photograph, and I remember at that time when they took the photograph, it was for no particular reason. But I could discern that there was some particular interest in in that photograph. Like with me, I felt like, okay, something felt a little bit off with that. Like something felt like, okay, maybe they're gonna take this photograph and do something, some type of witchcraft, or use it for spin, as this piece I've seen here. My information pertaining to perception stays the same, in the sense that I only asked the question, what was the fist for? And if people, how generally this is something with all the things that individuals catch, things like this would tend to go unnoticed. Okay. I find the assassination attempt to be extreme and aligned with, still the same, former President Donald Trump's feelings and leanings towards minorities, because this happened after I uploaded my video, and therefore somebody became aware of it, and therefore to save face, then that attack where the sniper missed. All right. And he caught a flesh wound. All right. I'm not sure if I could say if that was an assassination attempt. I find it to be a little bit strange considering the timing and the fact that when he went down, or they have photographs on news articles that I have in the other ones where he's going down and he has his fist up in the air. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like somebody, let me put it this way, it would appear as if somebody had seen, all right, the Chicken Guillotine vodcast that I posted up where he had that, where it was that image of him. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, the reason why I talk about the renewal of the mind is this: like, all information out there, if time moves in cycles, will relatively be the same if your lifetimes were stacked one on top of the other, the exact same life. So that would make one appear routine as a robot, meaning devoid of the spirit. You see, if nothing is new under the sun, then your news and media and so on and so forth, as you quicken, you could remember things that has yet happened, but also time moves in cycles, and that makes individuals predictable like dogs. And the one who will be seen as a first fruit or different will say things that are new, even though they're not. If the sun represents knowledge, these are things that were not known, even though these were things that were common. And this is the blindness of the pride that's in knowledge, and why awareness is important also. Being spiritually sound. The living man speaks truth, and for some reason does new things. But these things are not new things that are necessarily done under the sun. If the life of a man is with Christ, and his life is his light, and that light is hid, and like Paul said, within a man there is no light but darkness. But the Spirit of God is upon me, and if God dwells in thick darkness, then the things I say, my motivations, things I remember, these things happen beneath the sun, but the sun can't witness these new thoughts and new ways of thinking. When my mind is renewed, knowledge doesn't notice, because knowledge is based on perception of the physical eyes, the physical ears, the five senses: the touch, taste, feel, hear, or see. Each of these senses one could be deceived by, and even their memories, I suppose, but how particular are these memories I have? And these spiritual seeds, which are words, have manifested in the media, such as Hyperion. How can we say that spiritual seeds are not real? How can we question Gabriel? It's a deep thing for an individual to know who they are. Because without knowing who you are, Then you have an issue in which you are connected to the collective, and then you get in deep state. And there were lifetimes with individuals that's been here a long time, and they remember you from former lifetimes where you did the same things around some individuals. You always seemed so predictable. And you thought, wow. Sometimes they may give you a small grin. These things made you feel a little uneasy. And they were basing their predictions on things you weren't aware of, because maybe they remember things from former lifetimes in which is wiped each time you come back here. And if you don't know yourself and grow according to the word of God, that your I am is established, then you reign in a perpetual balance like a pendulum, a wanderer going from side to side, being tossed to and fro. This was the same way that Satan moved in the earth when God asked him, "Where art thou?" Such is the same as the locust. And if you're a locust that rises into power, that doesn't mean you have the control. If we be the people, then we had the power. Those debates are like job interviews. If I pay my taxes, then I have a say so. I have a right to hand out flowers as a citizen. These things are humble and basic. We went from being a people to being oppressed, and we got the power. But we so divided, and our mind is controlled by many factors which come from deep state. Images and artificial intelligences, if one is in the body of Christ, from technology to society, would it not be natural if he dealt with all manner of accusations that you would get slandered also in the future? And this doesn't mean if you're just a Christian, because Christ died for the world, and the truth is, it wouldn't matter if you were atheist. Everyone's baseline is Christianity. There's no way around it. Now you could choose to be anti-Christ and anti-life, and therefore you don't know yourself. And it's funny, half the time they get emotional and turn goth and shit. How appropriate. At least they telling the truth. But then again, how much of it can they tell if they don't have it? By rejection. If you reject Christ, then when you lose all manner of truth also. Isn't that kind of like amnesia? Isn't that a little bit like losing yourself? It don't take a contract to lose your soul. That's written in the Bible. All this information that we bombarded with, and especially marketing, think about it. You don't have a chance to do anything but brush your teeth and go to work and come home. That is, if you're one of the ones that's still working. I don't know who is anymore. Isn't it interesting? The things I say are truthful. And because they're truthful, it's hard for you to deal with it. How many lies are told under the sun? And if my word is bond as Christ was, then my word is. And if my words are not like the birds that are around me, then they're birds of prey. And I'm speaking living shit. And when you have a living word that comes from the soul, then these doors are as aligned. And my thoughts are able to come out. Whereas before, I had these thoughts, but my mouth was dumb. There was a disconnection. Such is the same with my people who don't speak up. They just kind of mumble and shit. Or walk around with groans like the Holy Spirit. If we be children, then we be children of the day. African American. Two nations, but not dual citizenship. Isn't it intricate still? That it's written that my children are as those of Ethiopia. As means a likeness to, but not being Ham. The black man in America is called by a byword. African American, rejected by both. Can't be a Jew because I got vultured by a writer. And now I'm in this world and it's upside down. People treat me like a Jew. They don't see my swagger as Nazarene. There are different ways to understand the same thing. Most of the time, I try to explain through associations. These associations make the relationships relative to the ideas and thoughts in your brain a lot closer and more significant, strengthening each one with the other, as iron sharpens iron. It seems that the activation of CERN has opened up a door in which there is portals for former times, possibly existing in a loop, synchronized, and therefore we get synchronicities. Things we see once but remember as if we knew what it means, and we do, even if it's trash on the floor. Standing in the lobby of a check cashing place, we can see the story by how the papers crumple. This is discernment. To be able to pick up a wrecking ball with your fingertips by seeing the heart of the matter. And both, in fact, President Donald Trump and former President Donald Trump and President Joseph Biden are in between the tree leaves. If you ever heard someone talking as if the wind blowing through tree leaves and you hear the leaves flutter like chimes, I could hear many fractions of voices and influences and inspirations within the hive inside of one individual, and they both got it. And that is, in particular, the hive of your deep state is leading your country. In particular, those guys on Earth are all connected through Beelzebub. And if there's an entanglement in which One can't necessarily be decided through the other. The only thing they could focus on is the physical. As if the physical is permanent. Even though it is corporal to their incorporeal interests. And that can make several manifestations. How much one eats, how often one eats, what they eat and for what reasons and associations to their thoughts and things that they're going through relatively within their conscious or their subconscious impulses that drives them to eat. Lay's potato chips, there's marketing. I bet you just can't eat one. Damn. That's like the CIA for corporations is their marketing team and the algorithm. But you can change yourself. And then the algorithm will have to keep up because your pattern isn't necessarily as it is. And therefore it changes. The algorithm changes to track everything down to your decisions. There's a creature inside of men that roars inside their ears, and they call them ear drummers. But couldn't that be the roaring of a lion? And is that roaring the roaring of God, or is it the roaring of another one who is seeking to devour your soul? Or is it like the fluttering of a butterfly that's a monarch in your ear? Mind control. Influencing your thoughts, so on and so forth. And therefore, your presidents, most of the time, despite their accolades and everything like that, are within the hive, and therefore you're only electing a vessel. That's why I say, why isn't Biden offered the same solutions Donald Trump is? Despite their administrations, there's a need in the earth right now. And Biden's hands are kind of tied, and he can't talk about it. Then we come in with all this bad press, so on and so forth. I'm for the thinking citizen. Individuals that are constantly worried about a race war, I don't know. That wouldn't make any sense on so many levels. Especially the hate that we get in the first place. Think about it. As if we had a choice to be here anyways. But now that I'm here and after slavery, you talking about go back to Africa type shit. What are you really saying? There are hunters for Nazis and Nazi sympathizers. But there are no hunters for black men who died in our Holocaust, being used as anchors down in the Atlantic, so on and so forth. Our numbers we can't count. What science has done to us, and we stood the test of time. So, I tie my shoes one at a time still. I remember where I came from. And there was lifetimes here before this. And if I'm crazy, why do I say things in particular? If these thoughts are thoughts, these are thoughts I have access to that I wouldn't think unless something was wrong here. Like I said, I believe that there's been some type of dimensional glitch ever since they activated CERN. You have to forgive me. I'm not a scientist. All right. And when you look at Spider-Man, Enter the Spider-Verse, the first film, I keep saying, man, like the characters in the film, they would start glitching up. They would glitch. They would like kind of glitch around when they start having like, effects from their other dimension and stuff like that. It's like they just knew they were not in the right place. You understand? I kind of feel like that is what is going on here. I really do. But anyways, I have talked on here longer than I want to. I'm really done with like my podcast and stuff for now or whatever. I don't know what to call it, man. I just get on here, rant, I suppose, see if anybody's out there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted you to take a gander at this photo again. Look and see if you see the same things as I do as far as Donald Trump being composited into the photo. His face expression as if, and the way his fist is put up has like kind of like a 45 degree bend in the arm. It's not like an affirmative. It's like he's staring off camera and somebody's talking to him, directing him, and he's kind of like, all right, like what the fuck, like why I gotta do this? You know what I'm saying? That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to me. You know, I look at things for exactly as they are. You forgive me. This guy. Forgive me. But listen, you know, I'm not telling you how to think. I'm not telling you how to think. All right? I take common things, right? And I promote you to think for yourself and just think about the things that's going on in the world. At the end of the day, my point is, conservative, Democrat is two arms on the same beast. If there be a ray, it would be you all recognizing that it's not just one. Okay? But if we go that direction, then you get into like, you start getting towards that, possibly if it's not Christ, some type of antichrist, you know what I'm saying, figure. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the fear is, man. For everybody to come together. For base things, everything that coincides with treating others as you want to be treated. I mean, we shouldn't be grappling with freaking equality issues in 2024. This is insane. It is insane. How long have we been civilized? What type of technology we have? That's what I say, man. I believe this is a dream world. You understand what I'm saying? I believe that this is a dream world, man. Because when you listen to like my podcast that was about field trips and what have you, so on and so forth, there's so many things that are just quite interesting in this world. That it's either the information, maybe the information I'm getting is wrong, or there's a lot of like somehow magical or mystical things must be taking place in the earth. Because like I said, man, remember that podcast Buried, man, when I was talking about it's only 1.4 million graves left. You know what I'm saying? In the United States, according to the NCA, you know what I'm saying? And like 300 million or something people died like a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? So Like, that means like this year only, you know what I'm saying, 1.4 million people could die. And I know that may sound gothic, but I'm not talking about people dying. I'm just saying, how is it possible that there's only 1.4 million graves left? Look at all the people that's in the freaking earth. Look at how many people McDonald's have served. You understand what I'm saying? So like, I be looking at this joint and I be thinking like, this has gotta be some type of dream or something like that. Because things like that don't make sense. You know, you just gotta look at those field trips, man. You gotta look at those field trips and you start to understand like something is very interesting here. Something is very going on. It is very matrical. It is very water-like or womby. You know what I'm saying? Almost like we're floating in some embryonic fluid or some shit like that. You know, only in a matrical sense, because it's like something is forming. It seems like either something is forming at the same time, something is dying. Okay, and I can't tell what it is, but it's like looking at a train wreck. I really don't try to watch the news or anything like that, but it's just like, geez, man, this news and things like that, it's so gaudy, man. It's so gaudy. It's so much, you know what I'm saying, like, needs some attention type shit. It really is, man. Like, you know, the minute you subside from watching the news or something like that, then all of a sudden some extra fucking gaudy thing happens and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, like, not again. You know, someone, come on, man. Someone had to try to kill the former president. Come on, man. Come on. Who's picking on you? Come on, man. No, you guys. That could never happen. These things could never happen while somebody is in office. That's definitely not a professional, okay? Or not in office, but running a campaign. What is this, the prime rib? You know, and I'm not being insensitive. I'm just stating facts, all right? I'm just stating facts. It's overt. It's exceedingly obvious. You know, listen, if I even have a fucked up thought, man, a police officer just appears out of nowhere. Like they come out of the camouflage and everything. They just be chilling there. A lot of the time. Like, not a thought, but like, if you're a black dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? Yo. And you mean to tell me these people are able to carry like that fucking heavy ass gun and all that fucking ammunition, all that shit, man? You know, they set up like they gonna eat a fucking steak out there, man. You know, they don't just bring a few bullets. They gotta bring quite a bit of bullets, or like shit. I don't know how. Maybe like fucking at least 2 cases, right? How much the shit does that weigh? Then the gun is heavy. And this dude carry. I mean, nobody recognizes this guy. All them people there. Nobody's heard or seen nothing. He hasn't been planning nothing. He ain't been acting strange for like the past 3 days. Like really freaking strange. None of that shit. All right. This is deep state stuff. You guys, that photograph of that individual that did that shot, this deep state stuff, this is an old timeline. This shit has happened before. It has happened before. It was that same dude. You know what I'm saying? If you look, I gotta see if I can find a picture, but if you look at the photo, the one that's off to the side where it's like grass or whatever, you can see grass on the side. Just pay attention to that photo and just think, have I ever seen this before? Because I'm telling you, it's a deep state thing. This is, dude, I think they tried to do, or what's going on is to fucking they had this movie. I couldn't watch it, but I think I read like I watched the trailer. That's what I did. I watched the trailer because if you can't watch movies, you could watch the trailer sometime. You know what I'm saying? And but I'm trying to think who was in there. It was a brother. They had this brother from the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? This brother from the Matrix, man, and who else was in there? Maybe Mark Wahlberg was in there. I'm not sure if it was him. I'm not sure if it was Mark Wahlberg and that brother from the Matrix. All right, and it had the infinity symbol, the 8. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so this movie, I guess either Mark Wahlberg or whoever the other star of the show was, he ends up like, I guess, remembering all his memories from like, I guess, former lifetimes or something like that. It was something to the gist of that. And then like his like mind came together and all his different lifetimes and experiences, he was able to be good at several different things. You know what I'm saying? Because of that, he had a lot of experience and was able to do all sorts of different types of things. So maybe that is what's going on Earth right now. And some people are voting well, and other individuals are struggling. All right, with this situation. I do know that back. I don't want to say back in the day, but not too long ago, during what Al Gore's situation with the global warming or whatever. Maybe we're in 2011, 2012 or whatever. One of the slogans pertaining to this climate change and global warming situation was to evolve or die. And I thought that, I was like, damn, man, that's some severe ass shit. Evolve into what? I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. I'm like, I don't know if I could just, so you flex your shoulders a little bit, or what should I say to the side, or how do you evolve? Right? I can adapt. I'm a human being. I can adapt to certain shit, right? I don't know if I can just fucking jump a millennia and fucking evolve. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude, I'm sorry. Evolve or die? Did you niggas evolve on a nigga? What did you evolve to? What the fuck did you evolve into? Well, look at our fucking civilization, man. Motherfuckers be walking with their shopping cart in the fucking light posts and shit. Looking directly at the light post, and we'll walk into that damn thing. The lamp post, the parking lot. You understand what I'm saying? Like, listen. It's Idiocracy. It's coming. Is it coming to life? Have you seen the movie Idiocracy? Anybody seen that one? I know I have. I know I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I know I've seen it. Okay. That is a hive. That is a hive in either candidate. I'm just saying which way I lean pertaining to what's going on with this situation pertaining to the country, because as everybody wants to say, the same on say beast, hey man, I still fucking live here. I want to see this shit go to shit while I'm in here. I gotta get out first. I try to talk to you niggas like you niggas didn't care what I was saying about the Bible. So fuck you niggas. Respectfully. Get home to heaven and everything. But fuck you niggas. 1000%. You understand what I'm saying? Cause this shit's fucked up. Got me down here. With these goddamn cuz. You understand what I'm saying? I can't do a damn thing. I mean, shit. You know you losing a fight if you fucking at 41. You just fighting to have a fucking life, nigga. At 41. Hey, Hey, Bill Gates, daddy, get the fuck up off of me. Planned Parenthood and motherfuckers, them niggas. Eugenics Eugene, that nigga coming for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I know they're about saving the planet, but they keep ending up during the global warming, involve or die situation that we got too many people on the planet. It's like, oh, we can do this thing or that thing, but it's not gonna fix it in time. We got too many people on the planet. I'm like, I thought you were upper echelon. Why I hear that twang coming out your voice now? I thought we was friends, nigga. I thought we was fucking friends, dog. You know what I'm saying? Fuck is this about? So they keep going. We got too many damn Nigers on the fucking planet. Fucking Eugenics Eugene come running out with a fucking proton pack on like a fucking Ghostbuster and shit. Let's go get him. Making pills and medications and all sorts of knowledges and shit for side effects on top of side effects that we didn't have sides for our main dishes back in the day, but now we need a lot of them because we got bad health. You see, food doesn't nurture us the same, and now we need that spiritual also. That's that heavenly manner. That's the truth that come down. If it's not brought, then you dealing with knowledge. Have a relationship with the Most High. Evolve. Evolve how? Die? Is this due to not evolving? Is this a safety precaution? It seemed like an ultimatum of a plot that I didn't even know a part of, and it was even in commercials and shit, and I'm thinking, damn. Corporations are involved under the guise of global warming and shit, because everybody cares about the climate. Gotta raise up the horses, grazing on the plain. Yeah. How much that fence costs? I bet it costs fortunes. More than I could earn, at least in a year. Shit. Like I said, when it comes to politics, I don't have to waste my time because it ain't gonna affect my life. Isn't it intricate? Though it has an effect, it doesn't have an immediate effect on my life because I don't go nowhere. I don't do nothing. I don't even own a bike. I guess I have to have a place to live because you can't live off the land here. And when it comes to Planned Parenthood and King Herod, and then I get up to a certain year, then I'm running from him again in that spirit of Planned Parenthood. It must be Eugenics Eugene. Or maybe that fluttering that's in my ear. Some people complain of Havana syndrome. So many artists with voices in their head. Which one will save them? Their own thoughts are unknown and get confused in the blur if one don't know themselves. You want to have ethics, morals, and principles to establish your character. Without these things, you're like a jellyfish. You're just floating with the wave and you go with whatever the season. Any form of the breeze, a temptation, a little subtlety, and you see, you're hooked. Life is a teacher, best in its simplicity, but we become so complicated. And we got deep state and all sorts of other shit. Think about it. This is an odd reality. A nigga talking to you on a podcast about multiple lifetimes, I guess I'm a bad guy. But for what cost? I don't have a dog in this fight. The only thing I could play is a sacrifice, and I won't. And when it comes to global warming, evolving or die, considering what individuals have to do to keep a job, what does that mean? Evolve is as a suggestion to survive. The other occasion is death if you don't evolve. And who is the judge of this thing? And does one recognize oneself? And therefore, if there's a hive and that hive is Beelzebub and they activated CERN, will smash the atom together, the basic building block, then we're talking about the dark or the inner dimensions of a man, including their spirits, and if they got entangled because they wanted to coexist with the truth, but the truth is as it is. God is love. It's written in Corinthians, and people try to find it without acknowledging God first. Nor do they know His Son, nor do they know themselves, but they think they do though, by knowing what they aren't. And that's a straw man that can be moved very easily. I don't care who you are, and you'll collapse every time. So therefore, with all the gaslights and different things pertaining to dimensions, which I mentioned, I think, are laid in layers. And we are passing through time all the time, like the dash in between two dates on a tombstone. Time travel. Connected to a vessel, I am. If you're connected to a vessel and you have many voices from the deep state entering into your mind like Havana syndrome and a fluttering in your ear with some tendinitis, then this could be the field in which God was speaking about. That the serpent was the most subtle. That he was a killer and a murderer from the beginning. And the truth was not in him, meaning life. And therefore we are speaking of the Dead Sea, a proprietary blend of spirits that have become entangled in a field of snow, as in the static on a TV, like when you watch the movie The Ring. This is what's happening inside an individual. Completely unstable matter is what they said was on the other side of this world. And this unstable matter is called antimatter, and it's completely unstable. Chaos. And chaos correlates with the matrix, and the matrix, the matriarchy, and that also correlates with the earth. So, in this electromagnetic grid which you experience inside your head, this virtual reality has become connected with the static like you will see on a TV. That's what I call the Dead Sea. And I think that there's many individuals that got trapped in pertaining to their practices or different things they do, but because they're between a field and no two fields are exactly the same, then their difference in realities would appear to be subtle if they believe they exist in the same place. But is it possible to exist in the same place but in a different field of reality? Therefore, no two lives or experiences would be completely the same, and therefore this would pertain to individuals, and there would be a difference between an individual with the individual spirit versus those who have many religions. And I can discern also and this pertains to your psychology, in which you have insecurity and doubt because there's like a voting going on inside of your mind, in your subconscious all the time. You just won't think for yourself or have to get validation or approved. I don't even need any views on my videos. I really don't give a fuck. I think it's my obligation and my job to get the truth out. At least I'm reporting the news from what I see on my side of town. And it seems that there's been so many that hasn't been aware. Even though they laughed at a nigga before, they not now. In this country, some are asking who's driving the car. And what's the solution? But what's the solution when there are no solutions at all? And if the deep state is bipolar because they're like Ray, because they can't agree on shit, that's disorder or antimatter, like static, which comprises the brain of individuals that roam about the earth according to its governments. So that far is aligned is their thoughts by their intentions, discerns the things they do, and for what reasons. The seasons bring a change of a man. Good advice. These things don't get offered bread, even though they are words of life and life-saving advice, suggestions, help, but not out of some disappointment or some type of hate. But we just got so much pride that even in offering it, I appear as an asshole. If females felt secure with their need to be feminists, therefore females are insecure, and they fighting for their rights in America. But why? Who said they don't have rights? That's what's inside of their government and their mind. Even though these things have happened, they're not true. Therefore, we've been socially conditioned to go along with shit and get treated like an afterthought. And you just can't build castles out of shit. I went with what I went and I discerned what I discerned. But that doesn't mean that my life can be represented by either candidate. So, I'm a thinking citizen looking at all the other citizens go along with the battery that was placed in their back, and I wonder if they're from Mattel. Too bad I couldn't see that movie Barbie with Margot Robbie. Birds of prey fly around here after they hit the wall. They gotta be into something like witchcraft to teach their underlings, or else they don't have no control in their life. They know in their insecurity they only a pretty face. Conversations are not as things are not in its natural way or its natural order, and this is spiritual oppression. Some go along with it, and we say there's no fight, but we only do things physically. That's why your witchcraft is hilarious, because you doing physical things to get spiritual results, and if you know the spiritually legalese, that just don't add up according to the truth. So I stand on 10 toes. Now I'm looking to get out of here, just because everything here is dead. Every culture is flat, even politics. This assassination attempt, some would think I would give my sympathy, but I just have pragmatic understanding that snipers don't miss, neither do marksmen, and that high profile of a target, you had to at least get paid. And all of these individuals are so-called quote-unquote homegrown terrorists. But how is that possible? And how are all of these gunmen lone wolf? That sounds like some deep state targeting, programming they mind. That butterfly or flappering in the ear. The tendinitis, the individuals having trouble going to sleep, and their insomnia. I showed you other things in the show called The Boys. How that dude woke up several times to 3:30. Remember your former lifetimes, that was a thing. That waking up at 3:30 was a thing that caught on to conspiracy theorists. The individuals that woke up at 3:30, or the time in which that has 33 in it, or the whole 3 a.m. hour is the witching hour, so on and so forth, was a sign that you had some type of witchcraft on you if it was happening. And I've been stuck with this madness for a long time, but I ain't out to kill nobody. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, because it's within the recesses of your mind that has been lifted off your shoulders, but is used against you. And that seems like it's how this collective magic works. It's sigil. That's why covens are stronger than individuals, probably. You see. And now America is in this situation, and individuals are probably practicing the same witchcraft and an entanglement, and shit's getting worse. It's like the cup of indignation that God pulls out, and it's without mixture, and he pours it on the whore of Babylon, I think. I don't quite remember. But I can't say that shit's gotten real since there was an assassination attempt. That's a bar. Let me repeat. I can't say that shit's got real since there was an assassination attempt. I can't say that shit's got real, because I think that assassination attempt was real fake. And deep fake, I just don't get down with. If Donald Trump was going to be a target, more than likely he wouldn't have been assassinated. There would be an assassination attempt at his campaign. That's for one. Okay? Anybody that's looking to do something for real is probably not going to do that with all those people around there. I'm just saying. Not going to happen. And this is an individual that would have had to have gotten paid money. Also. Okay? He's 20 years old. He doesn't have an interest in politics like that. Not like that. He's a minority. So it was aimed to be staged as him being a Democrat. Okay? This is also old. This it's not old for this timeline, but I've been alive before. I don't remember it. I'm kind of feeling out there. This has happened before. Okay? Not the Trump assassination, but this individual was in the news before. Okay? Because I remember this photograph. Not from this lifetime. Okay? But he's 20 years old. Okay? Now listen, at 20 years old, okay, there's a lot of video games and stuff out there. People play World of Warcraft and shit. Can't say it. You know, this is something he looked like he'd be into playing video games. You know, one of the pictures he had anime in the background on his wall. You know, this guy, he'd be watching anime or playing video games. He ain't going out of his day to go see Trump. I mean, the only way something that would happen like that is if something personal happened. But even still, to do something like that is so, epic movie martyrdom. You know what I'm saying? So it's so dramatic. It's so dramatic. I mean, they would have to be really close. You know, he's a minority, okay? And yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it. And the lone wolf thing again. Every time I hear lone wolf, I just think CIA. CIA, man. Them alphabet boys are spirits. Okay? They're spirits. Like I said, you don't know where their office is at, man. And you can look it up in a phone book, and I guarantee you got to get to that office a certain type of way because you don't really see it in the same reality as your reality. You know, they got all these TV shows about the FBI and everything like that. You don't see any big offices with people working in there all the time in the FBI or anything like that. You don't see no fleets of these huge, like, you know, dark tinted windows, all black, like, you know what I'm saying, Escalades and SUVs and shit. You don't really see that shit. So we're talking about an archetype that's within the citizens. All right, that has the blessings, that had the blessings of their life and what have you for being informants. Okay, and no relationship is genuine because the individual is always doing two things. You understand? And the more individuals play into this situation or this game, they lose themselves. By dealing with suggestion, so on and so forth. This is low-hanging fruit from the deep state, which vote on how your life comes out. It's like reading a book with alternative endings. You understand? So, you know, this photograph, you know, the photograph of Trump, you can go back and look at it if you want. Listen, it's an old deep state photograph. I think I've said, and at the time, this was from former lifetimes that you don't remember of your own life. And they had each person do it. Now, at the time he took that photograph, he probably did not remember. And it's funny how this life, you'd be surprised how when you start thinking back, if you don't reflect on your life, you will start to find that you have certain memories or hazy memories from things that you did not do in this lifetime, okay, since you've been born this time, but things that you have done are places that you've been or been around individuals, okay, from a former time of living. Point blank and period. Alright? And can't nobody diagnose me that's a medical doctor, because you can't even be a damn supervisor in this world unless you're in the damn D-state. And all these niggas is worshiping all sorts of different types of gods and fucking genies and all sorts of shit, collecting antiques and shit, little fucking blue ball memorabilia. Cause all the girls are getting together, fucking making chicken soup in a fucking big ass pots, wearing black hats. Talk about throw some chicken feet in that thing. We gotta fuck up this place, and the other witches are saying we gotta fuck up this place, and all the witches are saying we gotta fuck up these different places. Because we got beef, we got spiritual beef with niggas. We don't got guns, but we got spiritual beef. We you know what I'm saying? We gonna make a nigga's head shrink. We go do that shit. We go in. You have all these different witches from different fucking sets, like fucking gangs of New York. And they fucking did warlords and all these motherfucking niggas on that fucking Magic the Gathering game, the fucking Ku Klux Klan play at fucking picnic tables all the fucking time. Yes, that's what them white boat. That's what they fucking play. They play Magic the Gathering and fucking World of Warcraft. They're like, well, I ain't a nerd. I fucking study war tactics with it. Yeah. Well, all the nerds in the suburbs and shit, they're playing shit like Tom Clancy and fucking Counter-Strike. The fucking nerds know how to hit you with that flash grenade and that 2 times. The nerds of the suburbs, they know how to hit you. They throw that flash grenade in on your ass. That's what they do before they go down the hallway. I had a homeboy named Uzwan. He fucking go, and then he fucking get to a corner of a wall. Then this little character, he fucking peek around the wall. He fucking throw one of them fucking 10 grenades out there. It'd be like a few guys out there. Guys be like, oh, then he come out. And he fucking takes him out. He fucking be like, I'm like, dude, that is some fucking real fucking military style shit you doing right there. I had to respect this shit. I was like, man, put it there. For those of you who don't know what I'm saying, I'm saying put it there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Put it there like a 5. You get something 5. Anyways, it's old school. You guys. You guys, that is a deep state photograph. Okay? It's a deep state photograph of Donald Trump, man. It is. But what makes it fucked up is because of that fucking assassination attempt, it's like he flinched, you know what I'm saying, revealing and showing you the full true magic or effects of whatever they did with that picture, that he ended up in a loop in which they could mold him based upon a point. And that point being that picture that was taken, possibly a former lifetime, and used. Now, I use the photo because I'm saying in this day and time of being woke, isn't it ironic with all the things that individuals notice, this goes missed and this individual becomes so popular. Of all presidents and people, think about it. There are wars and he is a headliner. People die every day. He is an employee of the soldiers that are fighting in wars. I see different. We got the whole game backwards. Why are elections and debates public if the people have no power? I think you've been deceived, nigga. This is still the Wild West. The emperor just got new clothes, even though they dirty. Kanye West got a real line. I thought it dope, you shop out of trash bags. That shit's fresh and real as fuck. People don't get the message cause the light's out. They can't turn the stove on because it's electric. They didn't pay the power bill. The God that they deal with don't deal with them, even though he does, and they don't notice shit. That now they just empty, walking around, doing nothing. Many of them have dogs, but for different reasons. Some come out just to pick up scents. And this is in the suburbs. And it makes me think of that song, Jeremy, by Pearl Jam. Jeremiah. That's just code for I think something's wrong. There are little shoes that are staged at the picnic table that no one moves. It's been there forever. Little baby shoes. And I think, what the fuck? No one's thrown them in the trash. Fuck type of witchcraft shit is that? People be lurking around there. What is this fucking place, man? I say it time and time. This reminds me of that movie, Annihilation, man, where everything is just getting cross-referenced to fuck, to where there is nothing original. So when the Bible speaks of a peculiar people, I guess in all of this, it's like we're inside of a blender that is moving very fast and everything's just getting crushed and just, you know what I'm saying, like compacted together. And it's forming like new solids, like CERN just wiped out the internal drive of the world, and they're on autopilot making decisions and shit, and all their spirits are entangled in there, and so they have a proprietary blend of the world, and they are as a world star, and we see the workings of the flesh is not too big on thinking. Let me digress from that. These are interesting times somehow. Double entendre. Voltaire. Take off my velvet glove and smack the earth with my left hand. This is offensive. I coach because I can't help it. It's that bad. I don't know what to say about this place. You know what I'm saying? But I want you to be aware of that deep fake. I want you to be aware of that deep fake picture of Donald Trump. And each time within each of your lives, there is something that is done, or things that are done in which you don't know what those things will be, but you you got to be careful with what you do, because your DNA, okay, it programs that. And yes, Jesus did die for our sins and everything like that, so on and so forth, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, you got to be careful. You got to aim to make wise decisions, so on and so forth. Be aware of your surroundings. Meditate, reflect on your day, so that you don't lose your life. Okay, that's what I'm talking about pertaining to your memory. Start kind of catalog. If you had to, go ahead, write down a diary or some shit if you need to. All right, but just like reflect on your life. Like me, I reflect on it, here and there, and then I try to remember what I reflected on. Else, what's the point? Like what lesson did I derive from this? And remember all that information. Because it is, as individuals are kind of like empty vessels, respectfully. That's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. And I believe it's that certain thing. I think that's what happened. They might be in a void, or when they talk about in the bottomless pit, I guess that's that black space where spirits just hang out. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a dark space, and they might just be waiting, man. But it's like the spirits of the earth are being, maybe I would hope maybe they're being renewed or regenerated in some type of way. I don't know how this. I don't remember. I'm just filling this out because things has gotten so strange after the 2010s. You know what I'm saying? I try to remember what's going on, because everything just seems like it's a gaslight media. It's so much going on. It's so dramatic right now. We got wars, and it's just so loud and chaotic and cutthroat. Even on YouTube, everything, these new rules that pertain to technology. Because when it comes down to a registry, man, it's very easy to keep track of Americans. It's only two things they need to hang on to, and this is basic things that I think we should remember. But it's going to be through technology and gun control. Between these two things, they don't want to take your guns. They just want you completely registered, because you can be controlled that way. All right. Technology, two-step verification, this, that, and the other. Eventually, the technology, the technology is going to want your soul. Okay, because it wants to verify or know 100% for a fact what you were doing, why you're doing it, so on and so forth. And this would be like the death of privacy and all sorts of other things, especially with digi money. You know what I'm saying? So listen, it's not looking good. I told you what I felt about the situation. It is a play, okay? And they've clued us into this since the COVID shot. When the second dude who took the shot was Shakespeare. For somehow, that's like gotta be some third eye type shit, because everybody in the world knows the second person to take the COVID shot. You see what I'm saying? And his name was Shakespeare. So this has got to be a stage, man. It's got to be a play. I just felt that it was very low hanging and low ball, that there was an assassination attempt, and it's in my mind there is no way I could see that happening outside of that being controlled by the GOP, who was quick to point out and blame the Democrats. I mean, how overtly obvious is this shit? It's like they're not even trying, man. They're not even trying. They just mad sloppy with it. This is what I'm talking about. This that shit. This that shit. All right. This that shit I'm talking about. Right. And it's not about favoritism or anything like that. It's just like put someone in there that's going to do the damn job, you know. And but ultimately, it's not about the president or his administration and all the work. We got to hold them down as citizens. It's so backwards, man. Everything is so backwards. Anyways, peace and love. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I had a couple like flying words in here. I only meant to talk to you guys for like 5 minutes because I'm done recording things for now. There were some other things I may get into, but we'll just kind of have to see how things go. But yeah, peace and blessings be with you all. All right, be careful out there. It's a lot of gaslights, a lot of crazy information that just everybody's being bombarded with. So you know, individuals that do not have a well scope of their surroundings like they did back in the 90s. That used to be taught to us. Have a well scope of your surroundings, you know, this, that, and the other. And everything just seems to be in some manner of discord ever since the splitting of that atom. All right? Peace and blessings be with you all. I'm out.